Today, I am personally answering one of our member questions. This is a solo episode as she's on vacay. She's with her family this week, so I hope she's having a blast. Actually, I know she's having a blast because I've been watching her Instagram and she's been sending pictures to our family and just really enjoying herself with that sunshine and beach weather. I've checked her pictures and stuff, and her and her family and all the kids, they're covered pretty much head to toe. They look great. I spy those rash guards. Good job, sis. Neck bandanas and sunscreen. Oh, in fact, Ashley and I, we are going to be doing a sunscreen episode coming up soon on our favorite sunscreens. We're going to go into a further dive on more into sunscreens. So be sure to listen out for that episode. It's perfect just in time for summer. And it's just a refresher. We would like to do this every year because there's new sunscreens that come on the market for the year. So I'm really excited about that. And we look at all the ingredients. There's so many skincare companies that send us samples. When I say samples, they're like full size. I would say just products. And we really look at the EWG level and what is exactly in that sunscreen. Because there's a lot of yucky stuff in sunscreen too. And we want to make sure that we like what we're putting on our skin, right? Okay. So this is a member question that it's one question, but because of this question, I wanted to cover a lot with it because she has a question and my answer to help her will be able to cover other things on your skin too. Okay. So let me just get to the question soon because you're like, what are you talking about? But just want to let you know, we get our member questions inside our lapree beauty skincare community. So if you're wondering, how do I ask a question? I want my skincare question answered, or I want to be in list too. That's where we get all our questions, by the way. You can join very easily at lindsayholder.com. You can just direct message both myself and Ashley. We do get a lot of skincare questions and requests, but we put them, this is the topics. This is where we find what to discuss on our podcast is from you. So it's a great community. I just love it. You will hear from Ashley and myself, just the two of us. And that is the only way to ask me questions is to become a member. So I don't answer them through DMs. I just answer them in our community. It really just takes a few seconds to join. Again, head to lindsayholder.com and then, just DM us your question. This question is from Sharon. Hi, Sharon. Sharon's a doll. She's in our community. She's so sweet. And she has this question that says, how do you recommend for broken capillaries on the face? Well, Sharon, I am excited to answer your question, and I'm going to answer it with also answering other questions. So we're going to go over a few things. We're going to go over how to handle those broken capillaries, but also skin tags, sebaceous hyperplasia, cherry angiomas, sunspots, milia, and seborrheic keratosis. I thought let's just knock out all of these all at once. And treatments usually for most of these include electric surgery, which is high frequency, or electrocautery. I'll go into that. Cryotherapy, laser therapy, and topical retinoids. But let's start with capillaries. And I'm excited to go in. Let's just say this is an episode on skin irregularities because that's really what all these are. And I've had most of these and they always pop up, and I cannot wait to tell you how I take care of them. Sharon, you are in luck because I have had broken capillaries and I've had them removed. Mine were last year. So I'm the perfect person to ask because I had them myself. I wanted to discuss though, first off, what are broken capillaries? Some people know, I have broken capillaries, but they don't really know what they are and how do we get them? So when you see small red streaks or blotches on your face, those are capillaries. They have a spider web like appearance. And essentially what those are tiny blood vessels that rupture so they become visible through the skin. I usually saw them in my former spa on clients, primarily nose, cheeks, and chin area. Mine were definitely around on the sides of my nose. They drove me crazy. I did have one on the bridge of my nose, and I thought that was interesting. So I got that one too, but it drove me crazy. Every morning, getting my concealer out and having to conceal that area because I was just self-conscious of it. And a lot of people are. So I cannot wait to tell you a quick fix on how to take care of it. Capillaries are connected to the larger veins and arteries of the body. I want you to know they're not serious, but if you do have a large amount, and especially if they're causing you pain, then let your doctor know for sure, because that may be a sign of something more serious. Now, why do capillaries break? What causes that? The reason they break, or they can break and become visible it's due to various reasons. A few of those are aging. So you'll notice that's when you mainly get them as you age. You're like, oh, this popped up. Sun damage, pregnancy, alcohol consumption, hormonal changes, genetics, rosacea definitely, and certain medical conditions that you may have. These factors, they weaken the capillary walls, causing them to dilate and break. Then what that happens, that leads to the appearance of broken capillaries. So treatment includes laser therapy, sclerotherapy, and topical creams, or my personal favorite is a machine called, you could do either one of these, Skin Chic or Thermoclear. I had the Skin Chic in my spa. That is what I used to get rid of mine. I purchased this machine, well, for me, really, of course, to help other clients too. But I had so many skin irregularities pop up that I was like, I got to figure this out. And I was so excited when I came across the Skin Chic. If you have a local spa near you that either has the Skin Chic or Thermoclear, it really just depends on what your spas in your local area have. I highly recommend it. It's not too expensive. It's usually going to be cheaper. I don't want to say, but usually cheaper than going to the dermatologist, and then it solves it. Make sure when you're looking for that the spa that you find, though, offers like a guarantee. So what I mean by that is if the area if it hasn't gone away, make sure that in your price that they include a touch up. So, because it's not your fault that didn't go away. And a lot of times you may have to have a touch up. I had to have touch ups on a few of mine. So make sure they offer that or find one out, because it can take a couple of times before that area clears up. Okay. So for the Skin Chic, just to kind of let you know what that is, the Skin Chic is a non-invasive treatment. So what it does is it uses high-frequency electrical current to remove broken capillaries and other skin perfection. It delivers this tiny electrical current to the treatment area, and that produces this high-frequency heat that vaporizes the blood inside the broken capillary. This causes the capillary to collapse and eventually be reabsorbed by the body. Just to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. During the treatment, a small probe is gently touched the skin surface, and then the high frequency electrical current is delivered to the treatment area. It kind of feels like a small, I don't want to say bee sting, like a pinprick kind of but you do feel it. I'm not going to say that you don't. The machine is very, very precise, and it only targets the broken capillaries without damaging the surrounding skin. The needle is so thin and tiny, and this is great for me to share because I performed this treatment on a lot of my clients. They had amazing results. It was really easy for me to use. The needle was so thin, so I had complete control of it. It was kind of cool to watch. You'd have like that spider web look, and you would just tap, 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 tap down the area, and then boop, it just disappears before your eyes. It is so cool. I love doing that. It was really fun, actually. There's no I don't want to say, downtime, but there kind of is. So for me, my experience was you'd get it done. You look great that first day because you can't see anything. It's it literally takes them away. But what happens is as you heal the next day, I did have, it looks like white crust over. It looks like these white crusty lines. And then they sell a product called LuxMD, the Skin Chic. I don't know about Thermoclear, but you'd have to ask your local spa about that. So I put the LuxMD on those areas, and to make it heal faster. And then you do not want to pick at it. Just leave it alone. Basically, it heals itself and then it flakes off. So you do see those white lines. So just keep that in mind. So you want to schedule that when you have nothing going on, like pictures or an events or anything like that. Just wanted to let you know. So is it painful? Everybody tend to have a different pain tolerance. Some people are really tough. Some people are very sensitive. I am a very sensitive person with my skin. I mean, extremely sensitive. So to me, it did feel like little stings, little rubber band flicks, you could say. That's a good way to put it. But I got through it because I knew I wanted the results after. I was so sick of seeing that on my face. I wanted to get that done. A trick you can do is pinch an area of your skin so you don't feel that area when the machine is hitting that. So it just kind of tricks your brain and thinking the other area. So that really does help a lot. If you need to take breaks because you don't really want to move because you don't want other areas to be hit by that. So if you need to say, I need a break, you need a break. It's totally fine. For afterwards, you can do your normal activities, but you don't want to be out in the sun. That's really important. You don't want to have, you're going to have some redness and swelling. It may occur, but that usually resolves in a few hours. So the Skin Chic is not suitable for all broken capillaries. So if they are too deep or too large, let your esthetician or your doctor will need to assess that. But they're like for smaller areas. So just keep that in mind. That would be something else. Now we're going to go into more. So I hope, Sharon, that answers your question. You can do other things as well. Skin Chic is just so easy, or Thermoclear, whichever. And you could do topical things too. But I mean, this just gets rid of it like right then. I mean, literally go in, get it done. And it's good. If you need to touch up, you're good too. So the Skin Chic, because I'm talking about that machine the most, because that's the one I am so familiar with because I used it all the time. It can remove other skin irregularities while you're already at the spa. And if you have these other irregularities, you can get them done at the same time as removing your capillaries. So do a full face and body check. And if you have any of these that I'm about to go over, go ahead and have them remove that too. Might as well. It's usually the same price. It's usually like all included. And they just need to modify usually their needle or the, not volume, but the level, and then it's fine. And there's just different ways of like tapping or the way the needle goes over that area and the way they create the border. So it's pretty easy for them to switch from one skin irregularity to the other. So if you have, besides capillaries, if you have skin tags, sebaceous hyperplasia, rosacea, cholesterol deposits, milia, cherry angiomas, seborrheic keratosis, or even warts, they can just do those all at the same time. Hopefully you don't have all of those. Let me tell you, I had some stuff though. I took off my skin tags, milia, cherry angiomas, sebaceous hyperplasia, and oh my word, I have sebaceous keratosis like no other for my pregnancy. I mean, it just went wild. And that is totally genetic from my grandpa. Thanks, Grandpa. And I'm like, what is going on? Thank goodness I had this machine where I was able to keep everything up. And now they're back. So new ones have popped up. So I'll just go back to the lady who bought my spa, a very nice lady, and I'll have her take them off because I am not messing with that. It's on my neck. And I'm very self-conscious of that. Very self-conscious, especially because I'm doing all my skin videos and everything. So this way I can keep up with them. And you can, I just wanted to let you know, I forgot to mention this. You can ask for numbing cream in advance if you're super sensitive. And you would apply that about 30 minutes before your treatment area. And that way it'll numb that area. So I am turning 46 in May. I can't believe it. And I am also an esthetician. And I often get mistaken. I'm not just bragging here, but I do get mistaken for someone in their early 30s a lot. And that is because I work hard on my skin. And I also work hard to find the products that will work well for you and your skin that is going to make a big difference. The biggest question I get often is, okay, are you doing Botox or fillers? And when I say no, the second question I get, okay, well, what do you do? What is your secret sauce? One of my biggest secrets is that I use the droplet device. This device was created by MIT scientists, and it is the closest thing that you can get results without using a needle, in my opinion. If you head to lindseyholder.com/droplet, so that's LINDSEYHOLDER.com/DROPLETTE and use code LapreeBeauty20, that's LAPREEBEAUTY20, you can get 20% off your first device. This device, get this, delivers the serum 20 times deeper into your skin. And this is without needles. It uses micro infusion technology in this handheld device. That is so incredible. Ashley and I use this at home several times a week. We like to rotate between the retinol drops for our forehead wrinkles and our neck, and 11s and the collagen hydrofiller capsules for that. It gives you that plumping, lifting effect, which I definitely need to just keep up in my 40s, my mid 40s. It really works. I would not say it didn't. I mean, I would not say it did if it didn't. And we are so happy to share one of our favorite esthetician secret devices with you. So again, if you want to get that discount code, it's so easy. Head to lindseyholder.com/thedroplet and use code LapreeBeauty20 for 20% off. That is a great discount. You're welcome. Because we asked them directly, hey, can we get a discount? Also, that page will give you more information and some before and after pictures for you to look at. So head to lindseyholder.com/thedroplet today. Skin tags. Let's just kind of go over what those are. What are those? Boy, those are annoying. I get a lot of those during pregnancy too, because you're rubbing up against everything and just everything's growing. But what are they? We see them pop up, but do you really know what they are? I was excited to just kind of give you some education about them. What they are small, benign growths that usually occur where skin rubs against other skin or clothing, such as the neck, armpits, eyelids, and groin area. They are common. They're usually harmless, but, they are annoying cosmetically. If you feel complete discomfort and they get irritated or inflamed, definitely get that checked out, and you'll want those removed. And it feels so good to have them removed. Have you ever had it where you're like in the shower, you're like washing under your arms or whatever, and you're like, oh, and you feel that skin tag, oh, that is the worst feeling. Oh, it's so annoying. And you're like, oh, I want this off so bad. Well, you can find a place that can take them off. It is so easy. What they do to get that off is they just tap it. So I'm just going to go back to the skin sheet, but you use the needle and they just tap around the area until the skin tag turns like a gray color, and that's it. And then you wait usually 7 to 10 days and it'll just naturally fall off. It'll crust up and the skin tag will fall off. If you need another touch up, if it didn't, only a little bit of the skin tag fell off and not the other, just tell them and just have them go back. They'll touch it up. The exact cause of skin tags is unknown, but they do occur due to several factors. And I always was curious about this, so I wanted to let you know, so you'll have it. Friction and irritation. They usually develop in areas where your skin is rubbing against skin or clothing. That can cause friction or irritation. Hormonal changes during pregnancy, hands up for me with that happened. Or menopause can increase the likelihood of developing skin tags. Yeah, I had several skin tags pop up during my pregnancy. Oh my word. Genetics. Some people may be more prone to developing skin tags due to their genetics too. So if that runs in your family, you're probably going to see that as well. Age. I don't know why, just it tends to occur more frequently as people age, so you'll notice that as well. Obesity, being overweight can also increase the likelihood of developing skin tags due to the folds and the increased friction. I think that's also why I got it too, because I gained weight during pregnancy. So I'm just like, have that constant friction. And of course, medical conditions, like if you have like diabetes or certain hormonal disorders, it may increase the likelihood of developing those tags. Now, they're harmless. Don't panic. But anytime you have an unusual growth or changes in the skin and the dermatologist says you can take them off, then I would get them removed. Very easy. One time I used numbing cream, and the other time, then I just said, I'll just go through with it. And I was able to get through everything without numbing cream. It's uncomfortable. Yes, it is so uncomfortable. Again, depends on your threshold level, but I just kind of powered through it and then like pinched myself somewhere else and just didn't think about it. Actually, I got this little buzzy thing. I think it's called Buzzy, and it looks like a bee and it vibrates. And I brought that with me and put that in another area. A lot of parents get that for kids to use when they go to get their shots at the doctor's office. And I got it for me. And I would apply that to another section on my body while they were doing that. And so that's what I use. So it's called Buzzy. Anyway, it's pretty cute. Looks like a little bee. Now we're going to go into Milia. What are Milia? I'm sure you've seen sometimes on your face, not everybody, but small white or yellowish, like raised bumps. They're usually very common on the face, particularly around the eyes, nose, and cheeks. So what are they? And they're hard. Like you can't just get rid of them. You can't like scratch them off. You can't like pop them. They just stay there. They are caused by the buildup of keratin, a protein that forms the outermost layer of the skin, and they can occur in people of all ages and skin types. Now, sometimes they look like whiteheads, but they're not the same thing. Whiteheads occur when skin's pores become clogged with oil and dead skin cells. Milia, those form when the dead skin cells become trapped beneath the skin surface, so it creates a small cyst. You'll notice that Milia then has that skin over it, so you can't get to it. That's when you need professional help. You could try a retinoid or Retin-A. You could try that. It's going to take a little bit longer. Or you can get your esthetician to remove those it depends on the state that you're in. So make sure to look at that. But the Skin Chic or a Lancet as well. It also depends how many you have, because you want to make sure that you're not scarring anything. So make sure you're very careful with that. They are harmless and they do not require medical treatment. You're welcome to leave it on your skin. However, if it does bother you, feel free just to have them removed. Next up, cherry angiomas. Have you ever seen those like just red dots on your skin and you're like, what is that? It's not a pimple. It's like this raised. Well, some of them are flat, some of them are raised. And it's just like this odd, they look like little cherries. That is what a cherry angioma is. They are totally benign. They're cherry red or purple growths, and they commonly appear on the skin. So I've had those removed too. What those are, they are made of small blood vessels, and they can range in size from like just a tiny pinhead to a small bump up to several millimeters in diameter. They're usually found on the torso, arms, and legs, but they can occur anywhere in the body. I mean, I've had clients before, we do like a head to toe cherry angioma removal, and I'm just zapping, getting out those all the way. But oh my goodness, the client felt so amazing having all those removed. It made her feel so good. She'd had it for so long. I remember that. And I mean, I think when we were done, I'm not kidding, I probably zapped about 75 to 100 from head to toe. So I knew that wasn't comfortable, but we got it. The cause of cherry angiomas is unknown, but they tend to occur more frequently as you age. I've noticed that as well. The majority of the cases, usually after 30, that's when you start to see it. They're common in people with fair skin, and they may have a genetic component. So make a run of the family. Ask Grandpa about that too. Man, I guess Grandpa just did not have good skin because he gave me everything. Cherry angiomas, seborrheic keratosis, oh my word, skin tags. Like, good gosh. Cherry angiomas, they are harmless and they don't require medical treatment, so you can't leave them there. So this is just, all of these are just cosmetic only. Now, they can bleed if they're scratched or bumped. So just know that. Just wanted to go over that. Sebaceous hyperplasia, had that too. What is that? That's a common benign skin condition that occurs when the sebaceous glands, which are responsible for producing oil to lubricate the skin, they become enlarged and produce too much oil. What it looks like, this results in a formation of small yellow or flesh-colored bumps in the skin, mostly commonly on the face, particularly the forehead, the nose, and the cheeks. I get them on my forehead, and to me, they look like a little donut, kind of like a round area, and then like a little dent inside. That's what they kind of remind me of. They're more common in middle-aged or elderly individuals and can be associated with hormonal changes or long-term sun exposure. They're not a cause for concern. They don't require medical treatment unless they cause you discomfort, or mainly it's a cosmetic concern. So you can have those also removed with the Skin Chic or the Thermoclear when you get all this stuff done at the same time. So you're just going to be there all day, just moving everything. But I'll tell you, you'll feel so good having all these irregularities off. And once you find your place, you'll know, okay, when this pops up, I can just go there so easy and just have the esthetician remove it. The reason I also like it, you don't have to have a dermatologist remove the stuff. You can, it depends on your state, but you can just have your esthetician remove this very easily, and then it's done. A lot of times I would combine this inside a facial treatment. So you're already there for your facial, and then you can get this taken care of as well. Seborrheic keratosis, I wanted to go over what that is. I have that as well. That really popped up when I was pregnant a lot. Very much so. They're also very common. It's a benign skin condition. It causes cancerous growths on the skin, and they really do range in size from like super small, flat, brown or black spots to a raised, waxy, yellow or brown growth that can look like a mole or a wart. Definitely get those if you can at your wellness dermatologist check. Make sure that those, if they look suspicious, that your doctor does approve that, yeah, there's a seborrheic keratosis. And she or he may try to remove those with cryo, like their cold cryo gun that they use. They can occur anywhere in the body, but most commonly found on the face, chest, shoulders, and back. Mine were on my neck and my chest. I have a few on my face. I've had those removed, but my neck they went to town on my neck, and then my upper chest area. The reason why I like the Skin Chic over the one that my dermatologist uses with the cryo, I call it the cryo gun that she comes up with me, because I feel like the Skin Chic is just more precise. It's really getting to that area because the needle is so small. It's just able to not hit the other areas of the skin that doesn't have it, the healthy skin, the healthy tissue. And I just felt like the cryo gun was getting that healthy tissue. I was like, wait a minute, this area is so small. The tip of this gun is bigger than that. So it's hitting this healthy tissue. So that is why I prefer to do the Skin Chic. The cause of seborrheic keratosis, again, unknown. Don't you just love how all of these are unknown? They're like, we don't know. But they're related. They're believed to be related to age, genetics, and exposure to sunlight. The condition tends to be more common in, here we go again, middle-aged or older adults. It's so fun getting old, right? We get all this stuff popping up. Thank goodness we now have the tools to remove this stuff. Of course, it can be associated with hormonal changes and certain medical conditions. The treatments for everything that we talked about with the Skin Chic, typically one treatment is necessary. However, your results may vary. It usually takes only a few seconds per area. Like, for instance, like the skin tag, it doesn't take that long. You just tap, 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 tap. Results are pretty instantaneous, which is very satisfying, especially the cherry angiomas. Those just it's really cool. You have this red cherry angioma, and then you just tap it, and then it's gone. Other conditions that we talked about, those are going to crest and heal and usually be gone in 1 to 2 weeks. It really just depends. Now, for all of these things that we talked about today, like who is it good for? It's usually suitable for any age, all skin types and skin tones. So that is so refreshing to hear, right? So you don't have to worry about that. Now, the candidates must not pick, and they must protect the skin from sun damage during healing. Average healing times range from 5 to 10 days. However, legs, those can take longer to heal. Everything varies on lifestyle, health, age, things like that. You could need more than one treatment, sometimes even up to 3 treatments. It really just depends on the response that your skin had and the severity of the skin irregularity. If you do need to follow up, those can be done once the area is healed, typically every 2 to 3 weeks. But again, it just depends on how it healed for you. I think my Milia, I waited a month for that. And then it just took longer to heal for me. And then I had it just slightly touched up again. For post-care, just so you know what to expect, you cannot pick at it. We do not want to cause scarring or hyperpigmentation. Because then you're making it worse. So just make sure that you don't do that. If the skin is still irritated at the end of the day, apply a cold compress for 10 minutes and then usually use a healing balm. The one that I use again is called LuxMD, but there's barrier balms inside our Shop My store on lindsayholder.com, and you can get a barrier balm that will help with that, like a healing balm that'll help with that as well. And you can put that on 2 to 3 times a day per 24 to 48 hours after the initial crust or after the skin tag falls off. Post-treatment, your skin will be sensitive 7 to 10 days after crusting. You don't want to go into hot tubs, pools, saunas, or steam 24 to 48 hours on those treated areas. And you don't want to do like a vigorous exercise. So you're going to have to skip your hot yoga class the next morning. Ashley. I'm speaking to you, Ashley, because she's obsessed with her hot yoga right now. Avoid direct sunlight, of course, immediately following your treatment. Put SPF 30 or higher and make sure that you apply it 10 minutes prior to sun exposure. And then you wear it every day, like rain or shine, cloudy or not cloudy. Definitely do not use a retinol or any form of vitamin A or any type of peeling products or bleaching products until fully healed. Make sure you even look at your cleansers, that they are not too harsh. So just use mild products without alcohol and you'll be okay. I want you to pat your skin dry. Don't rub it because you don't want to remove that crust. You want to be very gentle and you want to keep your skin clean and protected because you don't want to have any infection. I hope that helps out with all of those skin irregularities. If you have any of those, now you know that there's something that you can do, that you can go look for, and you can have it taken care of and just feel your best self. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I love doing this solo episode. One way to support us is by hitting those 5 stars and reviewing us. It really allows us to keep this podcast going, and you can make a huge, huge difference in our show. Ashley and I see all the reviews. Ashley, I get excited too, but oh my gosh, Ashley literally calls me. She's like, oh my gosh, we got a review. And we celebrate. We have like a celebration talk for her about it. And for full details on what we talked about today, because I know I gave a lot of information, but I really wanted to take a deep dive in all these skin irregularities and let you know that I personally have had a lot of these, and I was so happy and thankful that I was able to find something that takes them off, and it makes me feel so much better. So to learn again about all of these, because this is a lot of information, just go to lindsayholder.com, and this will be inside our Lapree Beauty Skincare community. Yes, we'll have a few details in our podcast notes, of course, our show notes. But if you want, Ashley does the skin school. She's going to put like a section about the skin irregularities in our skin school, and this will go into a huge deep dive with all of that. It's so fast to join, y'all. All you do, seriously, it takes 30 seconds. lindsayholder.com. You literally put your name, first name, last name, and email in it. Just because I think it may be asked for a password, just because you need some way to log in. Please subscribe to the podcast. You can listen to us. We are here every Tuesday with a brand new episode, and we will be back here. Ashley will be back with me next Tuesday. Ashley, sis, I hope you're having so if you don't know, Ashley's my co-host, but also my sister. I hope you're having a great time, and I cannot wait to hear about your trip. Now I want to go on vacation. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and until next time.